Hey guys, welcome back to the Young Gaming channel. There's a little news that I'm gonna put up right now, and that is that I'm not doing this channel anymore for like trying to get reviews and stuff like that. Which basically is supposed to be when Hightail come out. Not sure when that's coming out, but I'm not gonna doing that anymore. I'm doing this for fun right now and for reflection of things that I've done in the past. And the reason that is because the kappa did came out, and I really don't want that to deal or mess with that. And since I'm not a big user, I'm sure I'm not gonna get hit, even if I make small videos here and there. Today we're actually going to be talking about the Battleforge U system for that is currently on the test server, which was said they will come to the stress server down here once we read these a little bit bottom. And after we finish that, I'm going to go with what I experienced the time that I actually did this whole testing for this new system, as they take feedback right here for those who actually test it instead of theorizing it, and then again showing us the value of what will happen on this new system, which in a head up warning, I feel like it's going to be good for those who have no life, but I feel like it's going to be a little bit bad. Actually, it's going to be bad for those who do have a life, who have things to do in here, and you do lose something precious, which is your 30-minute booster pack, which has a value of 400 to 420 Battleforge point. So let's actually go down real quickly so I can make this video as fast as I can and get to the point. So first, as you see at the bottom, a new system earning BFE will be coming soon and has already been published on our test server, which is the launchtext.exe launcher, which is you find in the Battleforge one, for crash and bug testing and to get an idea of everyone experience. This thread is going to be linked on the description below, so check it down. The system will be placed a daily dose of heroism, which by the way has, I already said, the value of a booster pack, which is a value of 400 to 420 battles per point. Quest for playing for 30 minutes. Other quests are unaffected, which is I'm expecting this is 75 Battleforge times 2, and will stay and will net 250 battle day in total. At the same time, I feel like through the testing, the achievement will still be there because it was there, which is the 1-1 for the quest, 3-3, 5-5, periodically when you're finishing those quests. It is a BFP over time system with first few matches netting much more BFE than any matches after. Currently, for the first 90 minutes in the game time, you earn 250 Battleforge point. This is awarded by the minute, so you do not have to play the full 90 minutes to get anything. Afterwards, a reserve system kicks in a maximum amount of currently 500 of Battleforge point is stored that you can earn Battleforge point from by playing matches. The speed at which you gain BFP depends on how full your reserve is, and the reserve gets refilled constantly at a set rate, even outside the game, which I'll be going over those calculations in the video. This results in player getting their BFP faster after they have taken a break, but not any more than they could have earned if they didn't. This system is implemented to make zero distinguish factor between newcomers and veterans, or PvP and PvE alike, and gives a lower sense of urgency, time pressure, or a fear of missing out points, benefiting those who don't have much time, need to take a break, have to work, etc. Now, this is actually right here. I feel conflicted with this, and I'll show you why a little bit more later in the video. We will test this on the test server. The system will likely not change. The value can be tweaked, even the post reset. Feel free to give the feedback, and I hope the system will make playing more meaningful and less stressful for everyone. Again, a little conflicted with the last one as well. Cracking my neck. So one other thing is that this is not valued by if you're a veteran or a new player or a skilled player or a newbie player or anything like that, because the factor of this system is time. Now, after testing it a couple of times, I will say that it really doesn't matter if you win or lose a match. The factor is time. Meaning if you actually go for 2 hours and you get disconnected for some reason, that is all calculated, and you will actually get your Battle Force point for what you played, instead of one of the system that you might see in the quest where you have to actually finish the quest by completing it, by finishing the match itself. Now, though I think that's pretty cool, what I want to actually put ahead of time is that you are losing the 30-minute booster pack worth of 400 to 420 Battle Force point, and it's being replaced by having the reserve and the daily boost. Now, that actually means that if you actually complete the whole thing, the 500 and the 250 daily boost, because they're definitely separate, you're actually getting a total of 750, which, yes, is actually more value than the 30 minutes 420 in that kind of aspect. But when you take a really close look into it, to get that 500 and to get the 250 battle points, you have to do certain timing to finish that, and it takes much longer than someone who comes out of work and just wants to get the value of the booster pack, because they may not have the value to actually finish the other two quests and so on, which again is not being taken out, the two quests, the 75 battle force time 2 and the achievement. But at the same time, 30 minutes in game finish real quickly, and then don't have to log in, is more than what this is given. However, this in overall time, it gives more Battle Force point. So I'm gonna put this on the description below for you guys to read and to see what it actually meant to approach and everything like that. And I'll just give you a short rundown with my definition for it. I feel like this is actually made for if something takes longer to finish. To get Battle Force points, because the lower your current reserve, the longer it takes to actually get Battle Force per match. Then that means that you will have to play more, meaning there will be more activity in the game for everyone. Like I'll see more matches and so on for longer time, and that way I can play with more people, and it will not feel dead if for some reason that were to happen in the future. But when you actually break it down, for those who actually want to maximize this, there's a way to actually, I feel, loophole it, I guess, and it doesn't actually feel good at all unless everyone is doing it at the same time. So I'm going to lay down in the description below. You can actually see the formula, which there's a formula that we'll be using, especially this one right here, which is the refill of it, because that doesn't reset. And let's just get right into it. Now, when I first actually started this, I thought it was infinite, because I read this and then I did the test, and I'm like, wait, something doesn't add up. First of all, when I actually finished the first match, I had a quest done, and I thought for some reason we still kept it, the 30 minutes. But that was just the achievement. So I actually reported that, and I was told that that's just the achievement 1133. That actually still stays, but I don't see it here saying that other quests. Achievement is technically not a quest. I don't see achievement being set here, so I thought it was a quest. Anyway, when I finished that, I thought it was an infinite system, and just for you to know, this actually started at December 15, 2019, and my test was at January 29 and 30, and now 31, and I thought there were some changes done. And when I actually saw this thing that the reserve was actually full all the time, I thought this system was broken, and that everyone should be happy for this system, because, well, technically everyone who can play longer will be happy for this system, because you get infinite amount of Battle Force per amount of hours you're playing in the game. And the reason why I said that is because there was a bug that was not reported in the 4 pages right here in the thread, and that goes something like this. I actually stay right here, and it says 26 minutes, 59 minutes, and I did the differential of how much I was earning. For example, this is the first time. You'll see the 250 daily boost, the 500. This is a little bit out of order, but basically it tells you like how much I gain, how much my daily boost is going down, and then again how much it reserves. So I did receive the booster pack for the 1-1 achievement. I did receive one of the quests, which is not shown for some reason in the testing, but I did it. I don't know which quest was that. But then I was getting full reserves. So here it is. I gain 305 Battle Force point. My daily boost is gone. I have 362 reserve from the 500, and then I type the command period exclamation point Battle Force point, which is BFP, in capital, and then I gain this right here saying that you have 463 battles for a point, your reserve is at 500. But wait, I was at 362, so I kept going with that at 400, and I showed this picture to Cubic, and at the same time I kept doing some matches and so on, and I keep seeing the same thing. You gain 66 battle force for this one, and your reserve is at 500. And then I kept going and going and going, and basically what I found out is that it was a bug, which was fixed. It was a bug, meaning that if this was actually thrown live, we would have got an infinite amount. We could play for hours and hours and hours. And it could have been broken too, because there's a math calculation that you'll see that if you play a certain amount of hours straight, you would get the most bang buck, and then you do it again and again and again for like all day, and then you would have gotten a massive amount of battle force point. But this actually got fixed, which is not intended. So let's actually skip that and get to the real point. Now, I did actually have some chats and here without the QB, because I asked a bunch of ask questions, and then I put everything that I had on my notes, which you'll see the notes later on as I test this whole system while I'm playing. Now, the first time that I tested it by finishing the map normally, which I did not like. If the reserve, so long as the current reserve is lower, it takes longer to finish it, which is something that Mr. X Link said on his main thread post. So then I said to myself, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna make it go to like 500 so I can actually do a new testing, see if I can go those hours straight. So I would do it 1 hour first and 1 hour first, and then later on I would do 2 hours straight and so on. And you actually can see some of the DCs, stuff like that, because I was playing 2 other games, because you can semi-AFK. There's a key point to this. This system is based on time. They don't have to complete the mission, meaning you don't have to beat the game. You can lose. You can basically get the Z, which is disconnect, and you're still going to get your battle force point depending on the duration of time in the game. So that's what I started doing, which means that I started semi-AFK in the beginning instead of playing the game actually. So I would stay right here in the beginning. Rogan KO is safe. I will go for I was trying to go for 2 hours. I went for an hour 28 minutes while playing another game, got disconnected, came back into the game, and I received the battle force point for 1 hour and 28 minutes. So the longer you play in a match, the better you're off, and we're about to go for that right now in here. Now let's see where is here it is. So let's go for this one right here, which is calculation. And if you guys don't know what this is right here in the column, just read the right side. We're going to be paying attention more specifically the T match and DB match. You can actually see the definition of what the other ones means in here, but they're not important for the video that I'm on to show you. Another thing I want to say that if you're actually looking at the first column, we're going to be looking at the column F majorly, because the E column is actually totaling already for the 90 minutes, which you gain 250 battle force boost. And something that I don't know if I mentioned in the video already, you have a daily boost for those who can't play all day. So you can do 90 minutes and you're going to get 250 battle force point from the daily boost. That's separated from the reserve. So you have 250 battle force from the daily boost, and you have 500 from the reserve, totaling amount of 750 battle force point. So we're going to look at the back column F, and we're going to go for the reserve at 500, and going to go for 1 hour, and from that match you will get 133. Which again, I'm pretty sure I did like close to that. Like I think I did like I'm not sure if I have it in here or anything like that. Like I gained like 134 because I stood for like a minute more or 2 minutes more after that. But either way, basically I gained 134 for that. So this is actually correct. So I gained 133. If I were at 500 current reserve and I do 120 minutes, I'm going to get 267 battle force point. And if I do it for 3 hours, I'm going to get 400 battle force point. So the back calculations are actually very important is your reserve. The lower your reserve, which if you look at the formula, go back to it, the lower your reserve, the lower the amount of battle force point you're going to earn per match. And if you guys want to actually calculate some of the things that I can actually put for the time wait, which is if I were to wait an hour or 2 hours later. And then again, there's one right here which I put, which is the 500, and I waited 4 hours. So if in 4 hours, if I play the match for 4 hours, I can earn 500 battle force point, meaning I can get the system done, the reserve system, and then I can take a break. However, this is not realistic because of this red bar that I put here. because of the quote that Cubic just said to me when I was asking him a bunch of ass goddamn questions. One of them meaning that all I have to do is stay for 3 hours and I gain. Sorry, all I have to do is stay for 4 hours and I gain 500 battle for a point and I'm done. But he technically told me that no, because the server in game you can only go a maximum of 3 hours, and the in-game system will actually kick you at 3 hours. Now you can go for 3 hours, and as shown in the calculation right here, boop, you can go for 3 hours and get to 400. You will get kicked out when it says 3 hours in 1 second, but it doesn't matter if you get disconnected. You're still going to be earning the thing. It is based on time. So then I give you some example right here that you can look for. If you had 400 for 1 hour, 400 reserve for 2 hours and 3 hours and so on. And just in case, I give you one for 100 reserve battle force point. In 1 hour, you will gain a 60 battle force point, meaning they'll take you 2 match to actually finish this. So then I actually jump into a hypothetical one, and the reason that is because there's a factor that I did not calculate on this page, just to give you an example, and that was the refill system. So I'm not sure about the one in the calculation over there, but I just made it. I told Cubic to make it easier for me, and he basically said is the 0.55. Yeah, I should turn this off. It is the 5,555 for battle force point per minute. So I actually calculated and said for 60 minutes I should be earning 33.33 battle point for every 1 hour. So I'm sorry, it should be filled my reserve by 33.33. And he actually said yes, and I asked a bunch of other questions and so on in here. But the main point is that I'm going to calculate that without the refill. Just remember that. So if there was no refill, then you will have 500 current, and then I go 1 hour, I will have 133 battle force point earned. Then I will minus that by the current one, and the leftover is 367, and then I will go again another hour for the second match. I will earn 113, which is less. Then I do the same calculations, and I will do another hour, and this next time I'll hit 91 battle force points. Do the same calculation, and then the next game I will earn 73 battle force points. Do the next calculation, I will earn 58, and then at the last one right here, I will earn 46, which I only have 32 left. So basically, I earned the whole thing. That right there took me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. Plus, if I added the 90-minute, because you have to go through the daily boost first before getting to the reserve, then that will be like an hour in an hour and 30 minutes. So 6-7 hours and 30 minutes to finish the whole thing. So then what happens if you actually go fully straight? So I can do this. I can go for 45 minutes first after I've done with my daily boost. So my reserve goes down by 100, which is right here. So now I can calculate that, and I can go to in that match straight for 3 hours, semi AFK, meaning that I don't have to do anything, just move to the left, right or left, and then after I finish that match, I will earn 400. So for people like me who just want to go straight up and maximize the 750, all I have to do is do the 90 minutes plus the 45 minutes to get my reserve down to 400, and then just go for a 3 hour straight, and then I get the whole thing. Now, what happened? Now, let me just put something here. This is the best way to actually do it. But if you're actually doing it this way, you have to go with adding the refill calculations. Now, here's the problem. I did not ask if the calculator is done minus first and then the refill, or is the refill comes first and then the minus. And what I mean by that is that, when you actually have that 1 hour during that match, if you're below 500, like for example, if you're at 400, you will refill 33.33. I rounded off down here for this example, but you will get to 33. So you will actually be at 433, should be at 433, and then you will get that kind of calculation that is 433 minus the amount of time for it. So I'm not 100% sure if this is correct, but basically this is how I calculated. The first hour, 133 minus by the current. Then I have a 367. So if it is true that you gain it first, not second, but if you gain it first, they're 33, you would be technically at 400. Remember, I'm rounding off things. So I will be at 400, and then it will do the calculation, which is 1 hour, and that'll be 220 battle force point. Then I'm gonna minus that by the current reserve, and that will give me 280. For the next hour, though, if I gain the 33 first, which is from that 1 hour being refilled, the reserve, then it will not be 280, it will be 213. And then I will calculate the 1 hour, which will be 103, and I will minus that by the reserve. This will keep continuing until I have all the battle force point from the reserve. So if you actually look at it, it will be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Sorry, from this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I still have 674, which again I would gain plus 33, and then it'll keep doing the calculation down, which will take much longer to actually finish the whole thing. So the best way that I would do it is I will go 135 minutes. This should equal the daily boost plus 100 BFP for my battle force reserve. Then I will go 3 hours, which is 180 minutes, and that should equal the 400 battle force point, in a total of 750 battle force point. Meaning in total, it should take me 5 hours and 15 minutes to get 750 battle force point if I keep doing that straight. Then I will technically wait 15 hours, which is 15 hours times 33 to gain 0.33 to gain 499.95 battle force point. That's the reserve because it doesn't reset. The only thing that resets is a 250 battle force point daily boost at 5 a.m. but the other one actually fills slowly. And I do not want to have lower battle force point on the current because that means that during that time it will take me longer to finish if I really want to finish. Otherwise I would have to open up my alarm clocks just so I can calculate everything again to have everything straight up, which means it's a little bit more stress for me. That means that during this whole thing that we were talking about stress and stuff like that, first of all, let's put up something up ahead. We did lose the 420 and 400 to 420 value of the booster pack, which is only 30 minutes instead of this whole garbage thing, or 90 minutes for 250 only. Which if you were to like log in for 30 minutes and get the booster pack versus only 90 minutes for 250, that is much less. But if you were actually to maximizing the game played in the game, then you will get about 750, which is much more because you get to keep the 2 quests of 75 battle force points times 2, plus the achievement whenever it comes out. So in that regards, it would be better, but it won't be better in the regards for those who only try to get in the game for 90 minutes if that's all the time they have to play. Of course, I'm sure I'm gonna hear people saying that this is only how much you got to play and should be playing the game anyway, or some bullshit like that. I'm not even gonna go into that. But to me, I don't feel like the system would be that much fair for them. If I was a greedy bastard, I would be upping the system up the ass because I am going to be getting much more. For more playtime. My playtime back then was literally 17 hours a day until I slowed that down. But and the stress to actually for them to actually for those who can't play the game, the stress for them to actually get all the reserve and get the 250, if they have that in mind, like they want to maximize this, it's big because they have to actually follow my formula in order to actually get that, which will be about 550 minutes in the way that I set it. So that's the reason why I kind of felt conflicted when I went back to this part down here. When I read down to the certified between comer and get lower center urgency time pressure. I will feel time pressure to get the maximum value if I want to get this. And at the same time, it says, and I hope the system will make playing more meaningful and less stress for everyone. I think it might be a little bit more stressful in that case. And by meaningful, I'm not sure what he meant by that. I mean, if he means it by there's more reserve, meaning we have to play more, it makes it more meaningful for playing more time in the game so we can get all the reserve, that little extra battle force point, then I guess in that point, I'm not 100% sure. If I were to calculate 750 battle force point minus 400, I hardly see people like really buying it at night, at morning at that price. But I'm gonna go by 400 instead of 400, 420 from the booster. Then the difference is about 350 Battle Force increased. So I still feel like it's gonna be like more stressful for everybody because you really want to maximize that cap. 350 Battle Force point extra from what we didn't have before. That's a lot more, and per day. So I would definitely want to max that out. So I'm not sure about you guys. This is how I took it. This is the calculations. I got help from Cubic on these calculations. I asked a bunch of ask questions for this. But tell me what you think. If in this in I'm not sure if you want to say it in my comment or anything like that, or if you actually want to come down and actually come here and give a feedback to this specific thing. You can actually go to the Discord and go to dev update server to get the, I'm sorry, I forgot to put that there, the launcher for it, the update launcher, which you're going to need. It is not technically the regular launcher, which is a Skylord Reborn to actually play the game. It's actually going to be this one, the launcher test, which basically when you go into the game you got everything. And I'm pretty sure I explained that in a bunch of video back, but for those who don't know and are new and I want to check the other videos and stuff like that, this is what it means. Basically you get every card in the game and stuff like that, and you can play any mode and to your fullest, to test anything you want to the fullest basically. So that is actually going to be end of the video. That's my credit. What my final decision, it would be that I feel like this is going to be good for me specifically. But for everybody who has a job or anything like that, or can't play the amount of time or maximize it, I don't think it's going to be that great. And that's my final verdict. Alright, so I just want to add this last little bit in here because I'm always honest about certain intentions. So for the video, if I see the system is going to benefit me a lot more than anyone else. But because I actually care for the community, I just want to put this ahead of time that this is just not going to be good overall for everyone. But people who has no life, there's going to be like a great system for them. Which, you know, if I was a dick, I would just go and try to make a video that proves this system works in favor for everybody somehow. But that's not how I actually do things. I actually like the whole Battle Force system to actually work for new players, for old players, for those who has jobs, for those who doesn't have jobs, and so on. So I actually everything that I showed right here, technically I made it in a summary and I show it to Cubic with the same math calculations that I showed in here and so on, because I always like to hear his opinion, and sometimes if anybody else wants to talk with me about this, I like to hear their opinion and what they think about it. He did definitely send me a message back saying that you can get 850 Battle Force by playing 3 matches 2 hours each with 6 hours break between matches. Or get 850 Battle Force by playing 6 matches 1 hour each with 3 hours break between matches. Now he actually showed me that, and I actually jumped into the whole thing in here to actually see it myself, and it's actually correct. But then this actually proves another point that I had. I don't know if I put it in the video or not, but the point is that this is supposed to be Battle Force that you come in and you play for the experience of having a good goddamn time after work or something like that, not to come into these game and try to make it all about math. Which, what I mean by that is, if you actually look at it, some of the sense, if you actually read the whole thing, I can actually pick it apart, but I'm just going to put it right here. If you have something like, the system is implemented to make serious distinguishing factor between newcomer and veterans and PvP, PvE alike, and give lower sense of urgency, time pressure. Let me stop you right there. Time pressure. I'm not sure about that. Right here, I already made a math calculation. I took my time to actually calculate each aspect of the time to maximize 750 Battle Force point for that extra 350 Battle Force point that you will get if you didn't get the booster pack. And basically this became more like a time pressure for me to actually get the math straight, and then when I actually play this game, it's going to be time pressure as well, because I'm going to have to maximize this, because I always want the maximum point of what the system is giving me. The system giving me 750 battle points point per day, then I want the maximum of that point. So when you think about it, I feel like people are definitely going to go jumping into the game and then definitely say that I'm just going to set my AFK and I'll try the formula that this guy just put in the video. I want to go and maybe do it like this, or maybe I want to make my own formula and I want to make it like this. And this is how I should play throughout my day. I may go to work for 8 hours, and then when I come home, I may have to do it like this to maximize it and have fun through that period of time. And then the problem is that when you have trying to have fun in the matches of the game, the matches does not always equals 1 hour. Some matches may equal 30 minutes, some matches equal to 40 minutes. And then during the time asset, maybe I have to go out and get something to eat, or maybe I have to take care of someone's child, something like that. Then during that time, I can't play in, so that's how to calculate it into the time, and I won't be able to get the full benefit of it. So let me give you an example. Let's say if I want to play, I'm gonna do it my way. I'm not gonna do it this way, but I know people will do it this way because it's also a good way. But if I do it my way, I will definitely do the 5 hours and 15 minutes, so I can get the full maximum 750 Battle Force point. But then you have 15 hours of rest time, even to sleep or everything like that, so that you gain 499.95 Battle Force point. After that, that will equal 20 hours and 15 minutes. That means that the daily reset is at least at 5 a.m., right? So then if you actually look at the difference between 20 hours and that 5 a.m., there is a certain amount of hours that is being also refilled. And if you actually reach that 499.95 Battle Force point, you get close to 500. All that time you miss that refill. That's wasted time. So that 1 hour you miss 33.33. If it is, for example, let me just add it right here. If I have 20 hours, and let me actually round it off. Let me not put the 15 minutes for it, just so I can give an example for it. 4 hours will be at 24 hours, which basically will be the whole day. Then you count it up. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before it gets to 5 a.m. So that's 9 hours, right? So then you have 9 hours that you have to use that. If you don't, then you're missing 9 hours times 0.33, and that's 299 Battle Force point. So throughout the day, you are more of calculating how you're going to play every day instead of just actually thinking about going into the game and just having fun. So even though he is actually correct, where Cubic actually said that you can just do it this way, the point stands. You're actually still being time pressure. You're trying to play the game by a certain amount of time. But if you don't do it like this, then you're going to miss out on maximizing. And if you don't care about maximizing, getting that 350 Battle Force point, which in the game, it looks like everybody really wants that edge of having more Battle Force points to get the cards they want, or more boosters to be able to open, then this will not affect you at all, I guess. But you're still not going to be, if you only play like 90 minutes, you're going to get your booster, your daily boost, which is 250, which is still less than the 30 minutes for that 400 to 420 value of a booster pack. Then there's a part on the bottom where it says feel free to give your feedback, and I hope the system will make playing more meaningful and less stressful. The point is, if you're thinking about this instead of playing the game, it becomes more stressful. For me, I have to actually time a thing around. I do stuff outside. I may have no life, but I do stuff outside which I don't want to show because it's a little bit not that good. But I do things outside too, and then now I have to revolve that around here. So if I were to play my game, I'll play 5 hours and 15 minutes. Whatever I do outside to get some money and stuff like that, that will be about, if it is 6 hour duration, I will have to time that during the 15-hour open window, so that way I can actually come in and also use the 9 hours so I don't lose the 299. This is what basically I'm trying to say. I don't feel that in overall for everyone, the system is going to work as it's supposed to be intended. I feel that it will be less pressure if we have the system now and maybe adding. I am 100% sure if they kept the booster pack, this would mean more BF. Advantage goes up to the no lifer, but I'm pretty sure that the people who don't have who do have a life will still earn the 90 boost and the booster pack. So it can go in many ways around it, but I don't feel in myself or overall for the community that the system will work. But for me, I'm happy about the system for myself because I can work around it. So just to be honest with you, I don't feel the system is work for everybody, and I'm pretty sure I explained that in the video. But I do feel the system is definitely going to work for me.